Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Well, if allowed, over the next couple of hours, I'd like to add an alter ego to my already alter ego, which, of course, is the truth teller. I've never missed an opportunity to tell the truth, nor will I. But I'd like to add today. Do we have any special music for this, JJ? I know I'm putting you on the spot as well, but I'd like to create a new Tuesday edition only additional alter ego. I would like to be called over the next 2 hours the problem solver. And that is exactly what we're going to do right here on the home of the Jaguars from a couple of minutes past 6 o'clock all the way up until 8 on this Tuesday night. As far as I'm concerned, it's gross. It's unacceptable. It's self-inflicted, okay? They've created this own little internal monster headed up by not deciding and not allowing and not telling and keeping it a secret as to who is actually calling plays for this football team. A football team that is almost last in the NFL. 15 points a game. 295 yards a game. They are worst right now when it comes to passing on third down. Trevor Lawrence is 3 for 14 on third down. 21.4%. Worst in professional football. Third down offense overall, 5 of 19. That's 26.3%. 28th in the NFL. The offensive line, the grades are poor. Whether you look at Pro Football Focus, whether you look at ESPN or whatever it is with their particular grades, there's a lot of math out there. It doesn't support what the Jaguars are trying to do. Trevor Lawrence, his last 7 starts. Trevor Lawrence, all losses. It's a team game, sure. But the quarterback gets the praise, the quarterback gets the criticism. The quarterback gets the praise in the world of $275 million, $55 a year to make plays. When you don't win and you go 0 for 7 in your last 7, you deserve criticism, right? 10 touchdowns, 7 picks, 6 fumbles, a passer rating of 81.9. That is what he has done in his last 7 starts. We'll get into some other stuff here a little bit as far as the continuous problem with wide receiver error, wide receiver drops, wide receiver miscommunication, wide receiver not running the right routes. How? How does this happen? It's the same coaching staff for the most part offensively, right? Certainly when you get to the quarterback, the offensive line, your wide receivers. They replaced one offensive lineman. They did replace a couple of wide receivers, including a first-round draft pick, including a free agent in Gabe Davis, who has become 2 games in their number 1 wide receiver. He is their go-to guy. He takes the most snaps. He has received the most targets. The sample size is poor, but it's all I have. It's all I have for you today. Okay? Again, it's hard to figure out. I watch them. I live at the Miller Electric Center as soon as camp opens. I never miss an off-season camp day. This team is prepared. They work hard. They coach hard. They don't take time off, even though it's totally different now than the way it used to be, with excessive water breaks and not running them and not hitting and not doing things the way they once did. This is still, in my opinion, a well-prepared football team with good players and good coaches, so why isn't it working? I came out of Sunday a little bit scarred. I did. I felt like there's a big problem here. And perhaps it's right in front of my face. I just can't identify it. Trevor Lawrence really showed a lot of leadership when he grabbed the podium on Sunday. He had some choice words. He was clearly upset, but it got me thinking, who? Who is he talking about here? Travis Etienne did the exact same thing in the locker room right around the same time, talking about how we need guys who work hard. Hard workers, not great players. And I'm thinking, who? This isn't my alma mater I'm talking about, where I could begin with Patrick Payton and go through the defensive line and start listing for you players who are making business decisions, players who are not giving 110% for one reason or another. You can see that in Tallahassee. I can't see that here. I'll begin with that here. 641-1010 on our text line. Can you identify one player on this roster 2 games in that you don't think is giving 110%? I can't. So I don't think it's in practice. I don't think it's during a game. Is it classroom work? Is it in-house preparation, the mental side of things, doing the right stuff, working out, lifting weights, time in the film room? I don't know. But there's something there. And Trevor was ticked. Clearly ticked. Etienne was ticked. Doug Peterson was a loss for words. JJ and I have a different opinion on it. I'll let JJ express his on Peterson in just a second. But my opinion was he's lost here. He can't believe this football team has only put up an average of 15 points in 2 games. And he says all the stuff that, frankly, you hear on a Saturday, stuff that you hear in college, in-game communication. We got to clean things up. We got to get on the same page. We got to learn to do the right. I mean, this is their full-time job. If you don't do your job right, you get fired. If I don't do my job right, I get fired. They're apparently not doing their job the way that they are supposed to. And to see him take that 10 to 12 seconds right before he answered the first question, which Hayes Carline asked, okay, was shocking to me. You know, it was almost as if he didn't see it coming. He didn't expect it. And I can't remember exactly what it was that Hayes asked, but it was something about, you know, just when you just played 60 minutes, what happened, you know, yada, yada, yada. And he didn't know how to answer the question. For what it's worth, give us 30 seconds on what you think this is with Doug Peterson, JJ.
Oh, I don't know if I just was calling out, I thought it was a little phony because he did the exact same take 15-second pause and then say, I'm at a loss for words in the radio interview he did immediately after the press conference. So it's like, to me, that's him showing the media like, hey, you guys, this is all I can do. And then he would kept, saying, hey, the players have to do this. The players have to take accountability. So, yeah, just a little weird, phony quirk for me.
Okay. He looked totally dejected. He, in my opinion, looked shocked. Okay. Almost as if the preparation has been put in, the game plan has been put in. Why are they not getting the job done? And to me, there's been, a little bit of a shock value to see how they have completely fallen apart in the second half after the Travis Etienne fumble, and how they completely fell apart in the first half on Sunday. I mean, you held Cleveland to 3 points in the second half. They picked up a safety, but you held them to 3. I mean, you should be winning this game. Your offense is putting up 15 points a game. So there really is a problem. And when you have stuff like this, and again, when I walked away and I saw what Trevor said, and I was there for it, and I listened to what Peterson said, my brain's working here. And I'm like, it's a loss. They're frustrated. Well, I got news for you. I've been around this organization forever. I have seen a ton of losses. Okay? I have seen way too many losses. I never felt the way I did on Sunday, and that continued yesterday. It's like there's something wrong. And something needs to be addressed here. Something needs to be fixed. If not, this thing is going to grow and grow and grow and just explode. And all of a sudden, there's going to be a big story. that he's either going to come out publicly or you know what happens when you lose and lose and lose and lose again. Someone's going to point a finger and someone is going to get outed here. I have always believed that Doug Peterson is not Trent Baalke's guy. I'm not going to change my opinion on that now, especially after they've lost 2 in a row. That was a Mickey Mouse way that they went around hiring Doug Peterson 3 years ago. Okay, they brought him in and Jim Caldwell in, and then they allowed 30 days to go by with all of these Matt Eberflus and Byron Leftwich and all of these, and then all of a sudden it's Peterson. Oh, he's been our guy. Of course he was your guy. Right. I've never believed it. Trent Baalke talked about it at his season-ending press conference, okay? Trent Baalke also talked about it in the month of August. Did a couple of interviews, did one on television during a preseason football game. He made a big deal about onboarding, about drafting guys and playing them, about this is not a rookie class. This is a class that you need to get ready and have them play immediately. During that season-ending press conference, he said, and Trent Baalke's changed on this now. Trent Baalke told each and every one of you, and we were there for it, oh, you really don't expect rookies to start in this league, even though Detroit had 4 rookie starters during the 2023 season. He addressed that. He talked about that. Obviously, outside of Anton Harrison, this organization got almost nothing out of their draft class in 2023. This year, the thinking was the exact opposite. We're going out, we're drafting guys that you need to play right out of the gate. It's worked with Brian Thomas Jr. Jarian Jones is playing a great deal. He really struggled in coverage. That's the bottom line. He did. It wasn't a great performance for him. We're seeing more and more now with DeAndre Prince, obviously, involved. And, you saw Cam Little, who's been involved early on. And that is encouraging for Jaguar fans. Am I missing anyone else? Let's see. Robinson is on the IR. Even Miles Cole has gotten a little bit of burn. The one absent name is Mason Smith. He's not playing. Let's get to Doug Peterson. Actually, I tell you what. I want to do this on time. Let me tease that to the other side because I want to make this opinion and or address this story and share my opinion with it. But I also want to hit these breaks on time because we've got a packed show over the next couple of hours. So we'll play that immediately outside of the break. I do want to tell you that tonight's show is brought to you by the good folks over at Shmunez Vision. Okay, no matter what it is when it involves your eyes, whether it's surgery, whether it's a medical scenario, it's so much more than just an eye examination. I know that. 8.5 years ago, Dr. Neil Shmunez performed surgery on my right eye. Just went in for a simple checkup. And he's like, bro, you need surgery tomorrow. Yeah, you need it, and you need it right now. And I did the very next day. So it's a huge part of what they do. And it's also about trusting those who are going to provide surgery for you, particularly cataract surgery. Let's introduce Dr. Catherine Shmunez. Combined, that's more than 30 years worth of surgery, including even laser eye surgery to give you 20/20 for the remainder of your life. But again, when you go to some of these practices, they'll introduce a surgery counselor who does not perform the surgery. Why would you waste time speaking to someone who's not even going to be operating on you? That's not the way they work at Shmunez Vision. You'll hear from Dr. Neil. You'll hear from Dr. Catherine. You'll hear from those who are involved directly with your eye and your eye surgery. That's the way that they work. So, Shmunez Vision, check them out online, or you can get them on Instagram as well at Shmunez Vision. All right, I want to hold this thought right here. I want to come back. Let's bring up Mason Smith. We have a quote from Doug Peterson, and what's really going on here? How do you sit down your second-round pick after 29 plays on opening day? Was he manhandled at the line of scrimmage? Some believe. Let's come back. We'll kick into that right here on a Tuesday edition. This is Into the Night.
They may not make a lot of plays.
Good snap. Good hold.
But sometimes they make the most important play.
One of the best kickers in the league year in and year out.
Listen for the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game on 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey everyone, it's football season and we wanted to go to the drawing board to make this year's predictions. Let's compare our two blonde all-stars. Most touchdowns, best pricing in the market. Most passing yards, gives the most for your trade. Most receptions, free oil changes with every purchase. Super Bowl champion, wow customer service. This looks like a winning season for everyone. Come see Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville where you can score big all season long.
Bold City AC, keeping you cool.
Feeling the heat, Jacksonville? Cool down with Bold City Heating and Air. From repairs to energy-efficient installs, we do it all. Your system worked hard all summer long to keep you cool. Give it a spa day. Schedule a system tune-up. Call Bold City Heating and Air today and experience the bold difference.
Bold City AC, keeping you cool. Bold City AC.
Visit boldcityac.com.
Guys, feeling deflated in the bedroom? ED, low T, no energy? If your stuff is broken, call 904-STROKEN or 904stroken.com. No shots in the first treatment, now free. Fix your ED at 904stroken.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Denny Thompson here. They're still growing. Tyson Sound & Security is looking to hire a master electrician. Are you or someone you know a master electrician with residential experience? Candidate will start at the industry's most competitive pay. Apply online at TysonSoundAndSecurity.com or call to apply 762-1000. Tyson Sound & Security hiring a master electrician offering top-notch industry pay. Call to apply 762-1000. Equal opportunity employee.
Stay in touch with the stars of Coral Gables.
From South Beach to Jax Beach, stay on A1A for the latest from Miami on the Hurricane Report.
Brought to you by Performance Painting. Prepare, protect, preserve.
On 1010XL.
Think you can't afford to buy a home? Think again. Lennar offers a range of new homes at affordable prices with a simple and hassle-free buying experience. Every home comes with our Everything's Included package, which means you get premium features and upgrades at no extra cost. For a limited time, enjoy rates as low as 3.99% and no closing costs on select homes when you finance through Lennar Mortgage. Call us at 904-917-2372 to find your dream home today. Lennar, the home for you.
Hurricane season on the First Coast can leave you in the dark, so why not get a head start on storm season with a home generator system from American Electrical? They've sold and installed more generators in Jacksonville than any other company around, with scores of whole home generator installations throughout North Florida. That's right, American Electrical has been installing and repairing thousands of generators for over a decade in Duval. Keep your loved ones and property protected. Log on to American-Electrical.com and see how they can help you.
I'm Jeff Middlecoff with Trustline Mortgage. My business partners Alan Tyre, Bill Pappas, and Ken Rimley have been helping first-time home buyers with their mortgage financing all over Florida for 34 years. First-time home buyers can get no or low down payments, anywhere from 0 to 3.5% down. As a first-time home buyer with Trustline Mortgage, you get added benefits for doing your loan with us, like lower rates on your mortgage insurance and lower closing costs. Oh, and did I forget to mention that Trustline gives first-time home buyers better mortgage interest rates? Here's the bottom line. Trustline Mortgage wants to help first-time home buyers accomplish your goal of home ownership. That's why Trustline Mortgage is offering the best first-time home buyer benefits around. Period. Trustline Mortgage delivers with no and low down payments, lower closing costs, and better interest rates. Call Trustline Mortgage today at 381-LOAN. Yes, 381-LOAN to find out how we can help you buy your dream home. Or visit our website at TrustlineMortgage.com. Trust your instincts and follow the line to Trustline Mortgage.
Certain restrictions apply. See office for details. Trustline is an equal housing opportunity. MLS number 331480.
Are you ready to upgrade your home? Experience the winning combination of style and performance with Renewal by Andersen energy-efficient, custom-built replacement windows and doors. Buy one, get one 40% off replacement windows and doors. Plus, 0 down, no payments, and no interest for 18 months. This offer expires September 30th and restrictions apply. Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com for details.
License number CGC 1527613.
Life has its share of challenges, and when it puts you to the test, make sure you reach out to Rebound Rehabilitation to give you the quickest path back to full health and confidence. Rebound Rehab, specializing in helping patients overcome back pain and sciatica, arthritis, and fibromyalgia, just to name a few. Rebound Rehab, locations covering the entire First Coast, getting you back in control with a pain-free life. Sports injury, workplace injury, whatever it might be, you can rebound. Log on to reboundrehab.com for more info.
Salvatore's famous pizza now in Jacksonville, Tapestry Park off Southside Boulevard. In honor of our favorite player, number 16, Salvatore's large pizza with lots of mozzarella and one topping, only $16. Coupon at salvatores.com. Dine in, pick up, and delivery. $16 for a large Salvatore's pizza with lots of mozzarella and one topping. Coupon at salvatores.com. Tax and delivery extra.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about putting your worries in the right bucket. So often we put our worries in our own bucket, but many times they need to be in God's bucket. The Bible says, present your problems always to God. In other words, leave them in God's bucket. Understand that no matter what is out of your control, it's never out of the control of Almighty God.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
You're Jimmy, right? This is your house?
Sure is.
I'm Rick Ballou.
I solve problems.
Good, we got one.
Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, the problem solver is here, and I just need to identify the problem. Maybe you can help us. 641-1010 text line. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. I got a big point I want to get to here in 30 seconds. Well, let me tell you, though, tonight's show brought to you by Thermal Engineers, and they're hiring. All right, HVAC contractor, commercially speaking, throughout North Florida for more than 20 years. Top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. All you have to do is go to Thermal Engineers, Inc., an equal opportunity employer. That's Thermal Engineers, Inc., 230-1172 is the number. It's an expanding company, a growing company. If you want 40 hours a week, you're not getting it in the HVAC business, well, you'll get it here, plus overtime. Okay? They have more work right now at Thermal Engineers than they know what to do with. If you're qualified, why would you not check them out? Top pay, 401k, full benefits, and a signing bonus. Just go to Thermal Engineers, Inc. to get all the details. Doug Peterson was asked on Sunday why Mason Smith did not play.
Yeah, you got 53 players each week, and I get a chance to select the 48. And obviously, I visit with the defensive staff, and it kind of goes too off of the prior week. So it's not necessarily what Mason did. I think guys like Big O and Jeremiah also had good weeks of preparation and practice, and it's just an opportunity for Mason to learn and put himself in a position this week to try to be elevated. So it was nothing that he didn't do. I just think it was the fact that Jeremiah and Big O had opportunities to be up this week.
That was from yesterday's press conference with Doug Peterson, not after the game on Sunday. All right, Big O. There's not one person in this city who had the Big O making the team. Okay, myself included. Ledbetter's a 7-year journeyman, and he was not healthy in week one. So Mason Smith was set down. I talked with Mason Smith last Thursday. I thought he played well. He drew a couple of holding calls. I've seen some others say that he got moved around a little bit on the defensive line. That may be the case. But here's what the issue is in my personal opinion. Trent Baalke went out and said, it's about onboarding. It's about playing the guys that we draft. Here's a second-round pick who is considered the ultimate wild card of the 2024 draft class. You can write any script imaginable about Mason Smith, and it would be believable, okay? This guy could end up being a star in this league, a Pro Bowler in this league. He could also be out of the NFL in a couple of years, right? He is the ultimate wild card, and I'm trying to figure out what's wrong. You keep hearing it from every direction. There's something going on that we do not know about. And, you know, I asked two people this today, and unfortunately, I got the exact opposite answers. In 33 years of doing this, okay, and the Jaguars have only been around for 30 years, I've never asked anyone this question, because it never really occurred to me until today. But it sounds like this. 90 minutes before kick, when you go down to 48 players, does that head coach just announce the 48 players? Obviously, he talks to the team trainers to find out who is healthy and who is not healthy. Obviously, his opinion is already in. He's already received the opinion from the position coaches and the offensive and defensive and special teams coordinators as far as who they believe should play that week. 90 minutes before kick, does Doug Peterson sit with Trent Baalke? I have never asked that question before. I didn't ask it during the Tom Coughlin era, Jack Del Rio, or through Gus and Marone and Urban, and now with Doug Peterson. It just never occurred to me. I have always been under the impression that the general manager gets the players, and the head coach and the positional coaches coach the players. And when your roster is decided, it's the head coach who makes the cuts. Certainly, Trent Baalke has an awful lot to say about, actually, when it comes to making the roster, let me check that. The general manager is, without any question at all, involved and probably has the final say on transactions. Then again, that's his job. But when you're talking about a healthy Sunday roster, isn't that the responsibility of your head coach? I don't know this, but I feel very comfortable about saying it. Trent Baalke wanted Mason Smith to play on Sunday, didn't he? He used a second-round pick on him. He played 29 snaps on opening day, and he's a DMP. He's not even in a football uniform for week number 2. So, again, I'm not going to come out and say all of a sudden there's a massive power struggle that is going on. But let's highlight this as we begin week number 3, because this thing has the possibility to really grow and grow negatively. Now, you go out and you win in Buffalo, it all goes away, right? And then you just start to focus on Houston. But if you lose, there's going to be a little bit more. And then there's going to be a little bit more. All right? When you begin to fight for jobs, what happens? We've seen it in everyday life, for crying out loud. Look at you when you fight for your job, if you're with another employee who's not putting in the effort that you are. Hell, it's life. Look at the whole RICO Act. Okay? You have people who stand by it and tell the truth. You have others who will rat out anyone to save themselves. I mean, just go and look at what has happened here historically. I know I'm going mob on you a little bit, but John Gotti never ratted anyone out, right? That's why he went to jail. Sammy the Bull Gravano, he did. He got the witness protection till he started selling, Quaaludes or Angel Dust or whatever it was out in Phoenix and got popped for a second time. I don't believe Doug Peterson is Trent Baalke's guy. I believe that Trent Baalke has more staying power than Doug Peterson. I believe that Trent Baalke is in the ear of Shad Khan. I believe that Trent Baalke has, look, he's not even playing Mason Smith. I drafted him in the second round. He didn't play Tank last year. He didn't play Brenton Strange last year. We addressed it this year. Play the rookies. Play them. Am I getting ahead of myself? Yeah. But when this team plays the way that they play and they coach the way that they coach, guys like me have to bring this up. It's as simple as that. You want to get rid of this crap? Coach. Coach like your hair's on fire. Play like you care. Don't be worse than the NFL when it comes to the offensive line. How your pressure rate is 28th in the NFL. How you're third worst in the NFL already 2 games in because you've given up 7 sacks. Clean it up. Act like you want to win a game. The amount of money that's been spent on that offense, and you're going to drop 15 points a game to this fan base? The last thing I want is a 9-8, an 8-9, a 7-10. The last thing I want is another half-pregnant season. Fix it, solve it, and win, or I want this thing to freaking implode. There's no in-between for me. And again, I could care less when it comes to any of the people that I mentioned. I don't have ill feelings, but I don't care. I care about you. I care about the long 30-year Jaguars fan who had to go through the Nick Foles trial and tribulations, who had to be told to wait again and be patient. That's what I want. I don't want any of this win one, lose one, win one. I want one of 2 things. Get together and fix this thing. I think Trent Baalke's put together the best roster yet. Mason Smith not playing is more than alarming to me. Unless someone can just say, hey, Ballou, he sucked. He was terrible against the Miami Dolphins. And I haven't had anyone tell me that yet. There needs to be a better explanation than playing journeymen veterans, the way that this team did this past Sunday. All right, a lot of reaction on this. And again, to my question, it is the first time I've ever asked this. And I'm asking you. I'm sure if I went and asked the coach, they wouldn't tell me anyway. Trent Baalke wouldn't answer that question, nor does he have to. When it was Gene Smith and when it was Dave Caldwell and, no matter Michael Hughes or no matter who it's ever been, I wonder what the rule of thumb, I wonder what the traditional way about this is. Does the GM sit there when you announce your healthy scratches? Or is the GM upstairs, already putting in his 10,000 steps because he's nervous about the game that comes up in 1 hour and a half? Frankly, I think that that's the way it should be. My opinion is that the head coach should have absolutely full autonomy on this, and that the general manager upstairs, do your job upstairs. This is who I want playing for me today. But it's amazing. I mean, how you still learn things, even though I've been doing this forever. I've never asked that question before. And I don't know if any one of my colleagues has ever asked that question before. But it came up. It came up in my mind after what happened here by not playing Mason Smith. So the text line is burning up, 641-1010. My goodness, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. All right, let's bring in Zach Goodall. Does a great job covering the Jaguars as well. He's back in town after 5 years out in Hogtown. Zach cut his teeth covering the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he's doing it once again. He's on the beat. Let's grab his opinion on several things that are happening inside the Jaguars. He will join us next on Into the Night.
Now, the Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game. Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville. Drive to the game in luxury with Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville.
Although Jacksonville found themselves on the wrong end of the scoreboard going into the second half, they would put together a sequence that would get them right back in the contest. Thanks to a 72-yard drive capped off by a Travis Etienne 4-yard score, Duval would cut the deficit to 6 with 1:11 left in the third. The three-play drive is your Randy Marion Cadillac Drive of the Game.
Hey, John, my dad, Randy Marion's gone absolute Cadillac crazy. You won't believe our Escalade lineup.
Well, how crazy we talking, Jennifer?
Buckle up, folks. We've got over 35 Cadillac Escalades.
35 Escalades? That's luxury overload.
I'm talking fully loaded models, cutting-edge tech, and that signature Cadillac style.
And the deals are even more luxurious. $4,000 Escalade loyalty rebate.
Plus 5% off MSRP on retired courtesy vehicles. Head to Randy Marion Cadillac on Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
Plus tax tag title $899 MNP and resistol.
Tell them Jennifer sent ya.
If you're looking for the best in indoor air quality, I've got the experts to call. Florida Home AC, the official AC provider of the Jaguars, specializing in the best air quality for your home or work with the Remy Halo. Instead of waiting for pollutants to travel through the ductwork to be neutralized, the Halo cell releases friendly oxidizers every time your fan blows air, helping those in your home that suffer from allergies and other respiratory issues. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC and start enjoying cool comfort and clean air.
Wow, John, my Clearwater sprinkler system looks great.
All right, Frank, let's go ahead and program your Rainbird timer. How many minutes do you want the zones to run?
John, I think we run from the front 20, the sides 15, the back 10, the garden 5. Clearwater scores!
Well, that's a first, Frank, but you're the boss.
Clearwater Irrigation. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at sprinklers.
And drainage to
ClearwaterJax.com.
Joe C. for Hard Rock Bet. It's the sports book for every kind of player. Straightforward, simple enough for the first-time bettor, but built with all the features experienced players expect. Plus, try it now. If your first bet doesn't hit, you'll get a bonus bet back up to $100. Easy deposits and fast withdrawals. PayPal, Venmo, and more. All you have to do to get started is download the Hard Rock Bet app or go online, hardrock.bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
After a storm passes, the assessment of the aftermath begins. Sometimes damage to the roof is obvious, like leaks or missing shingles, broken or damaged gutters, or tree debris. But storm damage is not always as clearly present. Universal Roof and Contracting is here to help and will come assess your roof for any hidden damage. Call Universal Roof to schedule your free roof inspection at 855-ROOF-HELP or visit universalroof.com. License number CCC 057165, CBC 1258484.
When it comes to towing products, your safety on the road is the priority at Cannons of Jacksonville. Whether it's a heavy-duty tow hitch, trailer frame, wiring, gooseneck, tow bar, or any other towing accessory, Cannons has decades of experience to ensure your towing setup is installed with precision and reliability. Visit cannonsofjax.com to explore a range of products and schedule your installation. Cannons of Jacksonville, your trusted partner for a smoother tow.
Grab your lucky spot on the couch, because traditions make Sunday easy to enjoy. Bud Light, easy to Sunday, easy to enjoy. Bud Light is the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch. Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Ever wondered what heaven smells like? Come explore Crowned Head Cigars on Saturday, September 21st from 1 to 4 p.m. at Tobacco Cove, 3849 Bay Meadows Road, and find out. We've got the Mil Diaz, so smooth it's like a spa day for your taste buds. The Mil Diaz Maduro, rich enough to make a chocolate bar jealous. And Tim Osgener's Aramis, so bold they'll make you rethink your life's choices. As always, there will be great deals, food, and prizes you'll want to brag about. See you at Tobacco Cove, where every puff is a party.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative. I know that hearing another ad for Jacksonville's best promo company interrupts Jacksonville's best sports talk, but at least it isn't a political ad. Check us out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Parker here, and I've got something to celebrate. Honestly, I never thought I'd be able to say this. I'm on the countdown to dropping 100 pounds. Yes, sir. 90 pounds already, thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss, and I'm just 3 weeks away from hitting the big 100. The best part? I'm reaching that 100 mark in months, not years. Life-changing and life-saving, no doubt about it. I had pretty much given up on trying, but now I'm going to be here for my son, my wife, my family, and most importantly, for myself. I'm living my life to the fullest, and I didn't know just how easy it was to make happen with Awaken 180. When I hit that 100-pound mark, we're going to celebrate big. I'll keep you updated every week as I get closer, and you can even join in on the celebration. Details to come. In the meantime, pick up the phone and make your own 180. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hi, I'm Chuck Farah. We know how important it is for you to have a vehicle after you've been injured in a car accident. So when we represent you for your personal injury claim, we'll help you get a rental car from the insurance company while your car is being repaired. And we'll provide this service at no additional fee. If you're hurt and you've got no car, let my team go to work for you. Farah & Farah, protecting you and your family. Call us at 396-5555 or go to farahandfarah.com. Jacksonville.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, head team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. Here's the latest update on the Jags, brought to you by Baptist Health and JOI.
How does Coach Dave Campo see the Jaguars at 0-2?
This team right now, there's something missing. There was something missing at the end of the year last year. I don't know what it is. I'm not in that locker room, but somebody, they have to come together if we're going to be a decent football team.
Okay, so
and by no means should we be panicking.
Right.
Everything that happened in that game can be fixed, in my opinion, with the exception that if it's third and long, we're going to have a problem because we are just not physical enough on good pass rushes that can crank it up and go get it.
Find the Campo and Joe podcast on the 1010XL Jaguars YouTube channel. I'm Andrew Gibson with your Jacksonville Orthopedic Institute Jaguars update.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555, Jacksonville. Now, another great guest on the Garber Auto Mall phone line.
Hello.
We can wiggle it.
All right, I guess it's Zach Goodall, and of course, Zach covering the Jaguars beat. He does so for Jaguars Wire, which is part of the USA Today family, and he goes into the night with Rick Ballou. Zach, thank you for a couple of moments of your time.
Absolutely, Rick. I'm happy to be here with you.
All right, this is a tough loss for a lot of different reasons. For what it's worth, I had Jacksonville doing the exact opposite of a year ago. I had them going 1-3 early on, but then winning 5 out of their last 6 against a much more manageable schedule late in the year. Problem, 2 days ago was the game I had them winning. I don't have them knocking off the Bills, and I don't have them knocking off the Texans. So this isn't totally out of line from what I expected. But, boy, they really laid an egg. And I got out of there listening to Trevor and listening to Doug Peterson and listening to players. It really feels like there is something wrong. I just can't identify it as of yet. Can you?
No, I really can't put my finger on it either. I've been trying to figure out by going back and watching this past game, watching Miami last week, and I need to do it, I think, again this week to try and see what the consistent issues are, what is repeated week after week. I mean, the obvious one to me, I think, probably to most people, is the offensive line play and the lack of protection. And not only that, but, how is Jacksonville's offensive play calling and approach countering what is clearly a deficiency? And it's not something that I think is really worth contesting at this point. I know Doug Peterson mentioned that he still has confidence in this offensive line, but if we're being real, this is a problem that goes back a while. It goes back to last season. It goes back even, I would say, to the season before to an extent when they were playing good football and winning games. It was still, I think, arguably the weak spot of that team. And we see a lot of these pieces still in place where arguably I think there are concerns. And I think that can be made across the board, but that's obviously the one that I think stands out the most. When you're averaging 15 points a game with a $55 million quarterback and there's no time to develop anything.
Yeah.
It's clearly the issue.
I've been hollering about the offensive line for years. I mean, I literally have. I think it's been by far and away their biggest problem, and they walked it back this year outside of Mitch Morse. And, you know, guys like me say it. The media says it. The fans. I'm so interactive with our fans on our text line here, and it's one after another. Everyone sees it except for the football team. Again, they walked it back. They had to be aware. They were 31st last year in just about every statistical category, yet they brought back the same players. And their excuse was, well, if they're healthy, they're going to be okay.
Right. And I mean, I think I've already seen the fans circulating the picture of the number 31 offensive line thing from last year. And they did repeat that. I think it was specifically in run blocking. They were second to last year with, by PFF's grade at least, for what people take that for what it's worth. But it's a reputable outlet that sees the same things we're seeing, is that they struggle in pass protection and they are fairly incapable of run blocking. I've seen the stats going around today from PFF and Next Gen on how the vast majority of Jacksonville's rushing output is being created after contact.
Right.
That's not a recipe for success.
Yeah, I think it's 90 some odd yards so far, and they've gone for 126 and 127. So they have been fairly effective with. We should point out a couple of really big plays, including Trevor picking up 33. But, you know, last year, Travis Etienne led the NFL in breaking tackles and then yards after contact. So a couple of really interesting numbers there. Zach Goodall, our guest, he covers the Jaguars for Jaguars Wire. And, again, that is part of the USA Today family. Trevor stepped up, I thought, with his comments after the game, clearly frustrated, telling the media and showing the media that he is a leader. But again, words are one thing, playing in action is another. Where are you right now with Trevor Lawrence 2 games in, and your feeling as to whether or not he can get this thing turned around as early as Monday night in Buffalo?
Yeah, I'm curious how people will feel about what I have to say on the matter, but I think that he is, when I look at this offense, he's kind of the only thing that gives me confidence that they can. And I know that looking at 16 passing yards in the first half, I think 49 in total with his massive rush, relative to the output he had in total in the first half. But, you know, it's hard to say that should inspire confidence, that quarterback. But we've seen him pick this team up in the past with arguably worse personnel than they have right now, all things considered, and put the team on his back and win games and perform even at a high enough level to keep them in contention when they probably shouldn't be. He's not playing perfect, and I think there are things that he needs to figure out with protection, especially understanding that he doesn't have that kind of time. He needs to make checks that will create some plays after the catch rather than trying to go for the big play. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I still see a quarterback there that can make the throws a lot of other quarterbacks can't. That realistically, I think he's done a better job in terms of eliminating turnover-worthy throws 2 games into this season, obviously, but kind of looking at it year over year. Aside from when he was hurt last year, that trend was kind of going the same way, too. So you're seeing some improvements, marginal as they may be and as they may seem within an offense that's floundering. But I still view him as kind of the hope for if this offense is going to figure it out, it's because Trevor is going to be firing on all cylinders, elevating the play of those around him.
Zach, last year, and I didn't even know they had these type of statistics, but they do with the new math in professional athletics, including football, but wide receiver era during Trevor Lawrence incompletions, 22% was the number. It was by far the worst in pro football, and it's not only drops, but it's miscommunication, it's running the wrong routes, not knowing your assignments. Then on top of that, you have 2 timeouts that you have to call at the end of the first half inside Cleveland's 5-yard line. The coaching staff that matters is the same when it comes to wide receivers, offensive line, and calling plays. How can something like this be happening with the same system, same players, same coaches?
3 years into it. Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, yeah, even with the offensive line, sure, Mitch is an addition.
Mm-hmm.
He's
a couple of receivers.
A couple of different receivers, but Gabe Davis is a veteran player. Devin Duvernay is not playing much, but that's another veteran added to the room. They've given Brian Thomas a lot of resources in terms of know-how and how to play the game, learning from players who have been there and done that at this point. And from Brian Thomas's perspective, he looks like their best playmaker. He looks like the guy who's most ready to contribute from that core.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Maybe it literally all comes down to the offensive line, but if it's that simple, great. Then changes need to be made to the personnel. Aggression needs to be shown in terms of going and trying to get another player. They've done that with Ezra Cleveland last year. I don't think it's worked out that well, but that shouldn't stop them from trying.
Yeah.
When you're at this point and it's this evident to the naked eye, to whoever's watching, that's your problem. And they've rested on their laurels on it, and it looks like they're paying for it right now.
All right, Zach, last one for you. Trent Baalke this year told us about onboarding rookies, that there's, you got to play them early. No rookie season. They got to be ready to go now. And you're getting production out of quite a few rookies early on. The Mason Smith scratch, was a shock to me. I did not see that one coming. What did you make out of this on Sunday, and do you read anything into it?
Certainly. I was confused too, and I understand that they are doing a lot of rotation with this defense, and I'm really curious to revisit it in a couple weeks and see just how effective it is, because the top players getting their rotational snaps and staying fresh, great. The further usage of players that maybe shouldn't be getting as many snaps as they are getting, I thought the run defense got worn down at times this past weekend with the interior rotation they had when they would have Jeremiah Ledbetter and Usezi Odomewo on the field. Like, they're fine players. They even had 5 tackles, but they weren't necessarily getting the push.
Yeah.
That automatically makes me wonder, what did Mason Smith do?
Yeah.
He didn't necessarily play exceptional against Miami, but he was on the field for 29 snaps. He was a valuable player in their eyes, enough to put him out there basically as much as the starters. I have no clue. It makes you wonder what's going to happen this week, but he seems like a player that they need to have active.
You can get everything from Zach Goodall. Just go to @Zach_Goodall. And, of course, he covers the Jaguars beat at the Jaguars Wire. We appreciate his information. Zach, always a lot of fun. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you, Rick.
There he goes. Good stuff there, Zach Goodall. He was in town here for a while. I think he's from here. And then he went off to Gainesville for 4 or 5 years. And I would always have Zach on. He was kind of my go-to guy in Gainesville. But it's good to have him now back here covering the Jaguars in Duval. So good stuff there. All right, let's get you involved. Let's do that. Our second hour. Let me check the text. Oh, my goodness. Look at this text line. 641-1010. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. You've got a plethora of questions. I'm going to try to answer them all. But the point that I'm trying to make here, okay, I'm not happy that I'm making this point. Okay? I thought about it, then do something else, avoid it. Then I'm like, no, screw that. I'm not going to do that. When you perform this way, last week you got on me big time because you thought I was way, way too warm and fuzzy. They blew a game. They had a huge turnover in the red zone, in the end zone, and we all know what happened. They blew a game, and I said, that's okay. They made massive mistakes. They're going to fix this thing. I thought they were going to beat Cleveland 30-13. When is the last time I have that may be the biggest margin of victory that I have ever picked. The Jacksonville Jaguars. I watched Cleveland against Dallas. Dallas had 25 pressures against the Cleveland Browns. They had 6 sacks. They ate them up. And this team was not ready Sunday at 1. They were not ready offensively. Okay? Again, the defense. The defense has played well enough to win these 2 games. The defense is far ahead of the offense. And I do think that is encouraging only because I think this offense is fixable. But my goodness, are they missing quite a bit right now. So let's get it from you in our second hour. 641-1010. If you'd like to get on in, that is the text line brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
It's all about picking winners.
Yes, it is.
Make the best picks and win a pizza party from Salvatore's Pizza at Tapestry Park.
Who wants pepperoni?
The 10-10 Weekly Pick'em Contest is brought to you by MyBookie. You pick 'em at 1010XL.com. Now you can watch 1010XL shows all day on X, Facebook, and YouTube. Brought to you by MyBookie. Experience Vegas from the comfort of your phone anytime, anywhere. Sign up today. Use promo code 1010XL.
Do the Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
If you're looking for a pre-owned vehicle with lifetime warranty, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Best price, best payment, best trade-in value, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. With a huge selection of pre-owned vehicles, Garber Auto Mall can wiggle it. Visit us in Green Cove Springs or at GarberAutomall.com. And remember, at Garber Auto Mall, there is always a little room for wiggle.
Garber wiggle, Garber wiggle, 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 Garber wiggle.
What player has the longest hitting streak in Major League Baseball history?
It's always a good idea to compare homeowners' insurance rates instead of renewing year in and year out. Log on to southernoak.com and get an instant quote in minutes.
Our family protecting yours, Southern Oak Insurance.
Joe DiMaggio holds the record for longest hitting streak, which lasted for 56 games in 1941 with the Yankees.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month, so here's a reminder to get screened. Ackerman Cancer Center offers on-site imaging, including total body MRI. Early detection is the key. Visit AckermanCancerCenter.com.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Collisions happen on every play in football. Collisions also happen every day on the road. If you need auto body repair, from a $30 job to a $30,000 job, trust San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
If you're looking for custom metalwork, look no further than Superior Fence and Rail. Whether it's custom railing, shade structures, or custom entry gates, their expert team controls the turnkey process. From CAD design and raw metal to powder-coated finish and expert installation. When you choose Superior Fence and Rail for your custom metal project, you get a project that's, well, superior. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
AC replacement? If your AC unit is ready to go kaput, then it's time to call Florida Home AC. With over $3,000 in tax credits waiting for you on select systems, take advantage of it. Call 777-4300. Get Florida Home AC to cool you off.
Pickett here with my concierge doctor, Richard Townsend. Doc T, how does a concierge direct primary care operate?
We are a membership-based primary care made directly between the patient and physician. We'll have a limited amount of patients that allows us to give unlimited access and personal service to you. This individualized approach has been shown to lower hospitalizations as well as maintain healthier lives. We also give 24/7 access via phone to me outside of our scheduled office hours.
To learn more, go to mypvconcierge.com.
I'm here with Clayton Bromberg of Underwoods. Clayton, I've got a simple question. How much does a 1-carat diamond cost?
Frank, that's an impossible question to answer because a carat is only a measure of weight for gemstones. It'd be no different than me saying, I have a beautiful wife. She weighs 125 pounds, which you'd find is a ridiculous description. Diamonds are graded for 4 factors, and carat weight is only one of those factors. The others are cut, color, and clarity, and each of these factors is graded specifically and set by a certified gemologist in an accredited gem laboratory. So when you ask about a diamond's weight, we're going to tell you more than just the price. At Underwoods, we want a customer to understand how all 4 factors of diamond quality relate back to the rarity and value of the diamond. Needless to say, we all understand the value of a dollar. At Underwoods, we want our customers to know what their dollar buys in diamond value. So if you're shopping for the best, stop by Underwoods.
That's at Underwoods in San Marco, in Avondale, or at the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Salvatore's famous pizza now in Jacksonville, Tapestry Park off Southside Boulevard. In honor of our favorite player, number 16, Salvatore's large pizza with lots of mozzarella and one topping, only $16. Coupon at salvatores.com. Dine in, pick up, and delivery. $16 for a large Salvatore's pizza with lots of mozzarella and one topping. Coupon at salvatores.com. Tax and delivery extra.
Our slogan, Know Before You Blow, applies to more than just DUI cases. Hi, I'm attorney Lee Lockett of Lockett Law. Battery charges can result in jail time and criminal convictions too, so know before you blow a gasket and hit a loved one or a stranger. Drug crimes like possession of marijuana and cocaine will land you in cuffs too, so know before you blow. In a boating under the influence case, you also have the option to blow or not to blow. So know your options. Know before you blow. Go to knowbeforeyoublow.com now. Offices Jacksonville.
Good people drink good beer, and great people drink Mocama, a refined craft brewery out of Fernandina Beach, Florida. Mocama Beer Company brings sophisticated flagship beers, including Cosmico IPA and Dune Garden Lager, to the greater Jacksonville area. Whether you're hitting the water with friends or enjoying a backyard barbecue, Mocama has the perfect fare for your summer activities. Look for us wherever great beers are sold and find your Mocama.
I-9 Sports wants to make sure kids all over the First Coast can enjoy growing up on a field or in a gym. And right now, fall and winter registration is open. Find out what I-9 Sports offers across Duval, Clay, and St. John's. I9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, just after 7 o'clock with you tonight till 8. Hacker Nation will join you tomorrow and Thursday, 6 to 8. And Friday, 4 to 6 on the AM. And I'll be on my way to the Blue Crab House. You kidding me? That is what we do on Friday nights. And right now, $2 margaritas. And I could go for a pitcher of them right now. $9 for a pitcher of margaritas at the Blue Crab House. They're open until 9 o'clock. Tomorrow night, $1 steamed oysters. All right. Thursday night, $3 drafts. And then Sunday, they open it at noon. They got $2.50 Bloody Marys and mimosas. You can call ahead, order, and pick up as well. As always, just go to the Blue Crab House right off of San Jose. They're on Jointon Creek Road. I mentioned this a little bit earlier, but I didn't get any of the numbers. The sample size is pathetic. It's 2 games, but still, quarterback drop percentage right now. The Jags are number 1. 16.1% of the time there's a drop. Right now, 50% of the passes that have been thrown to Christian Kirk, he has dropped. 50% of the passes thrown to Parker Washington, he has dropped. I watched him drop 1 ball in camp at B. Miller Electric Center. He was outstanding. Brenton Strange, 1 of 4, 25%. Thomas Jr., 14.3. Early on, that'll change, but that does come on the heels of what we talked about last year, where Jacksonville was 23rd in the NFL in drop percentage at 6.6%, but they were number 1 in the NFL in incompletions by Trevor Lawrence because of wide receiver error. And that includes drops. That includes running the wrong routes. Do you remember the one ball, JJ? And I know you were doing the game on the radio, but there was one ball that was a downfield pass that was completed. I want to say it was Brian Thomas Jr. and it was Gabe. They were both in the exact same area, okay? Something you would see in high school, maybe even in college, but they were right next to each other.
Against the Browns?
Yes.
No, I don't remember that.
Late in the game, and it's like, what's going on here? How can you make a mistake, to that significance? And again, there just appears to be problems all throughout this football team right now. And, all you got to do is go out there and win a game. And things will change. 24-24, Ballou, you might as well start calling this team Loserville. They look like a 0-17 team. Who are we going to beat? How about beat Buffalo? How about beat Houston? You're right back in it. I hate Loserville. I hate people picking on Duval. 92-47, Ballou, know how much money we're paying Trevor, but hell, give Mac a shot. That's not going to happen, man. He just gave this guy $275 million. You hope they can fix him. And, that's the part of this that is so, it just bewilders me because I've watched the way that this team practices, and they practice well. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, they went 3-0 in the preseason. They should be winning because we know preseason games don't mean anything. But practice does mean something. 1681, Ballou. No time is not new to Trevor. It's been 3 years with a sorry offensive line. He hasn't adjusted his game. No time, then decide faster to throw away more often. Well, yes and no. I think he's cleaned some stuff up. I think he's getting rid of the ball a little bit sooner this year than he has in years past. Open sacked 7 times. The one in the end zone he can't take, but to be fair, Myles Garrett forced him out of the pocket. He blew right by Cam Robinson. And then you have Alex Wright, again, making Ezra Cleveland playing the role of the matador. I don't know how you can go around a left guard like that, but he did. And Mitch Morse tried to get a body on him, and it didn't work. And, I said throw it away. And people are like, well, if you throw it away, it's a safety. Okay, well, if it's called, I think Gabe should have been the guy. I thought the route was way too long by Brian Thomas Jr. With that offensive line, this can't happen. A lot of people have said go ahead, and he should have just dumped it off to his right. To Travis Etienne, but there was a linebacker right on Etienne. I mean, he would have been clobbered at the line of scrimmage. 0882 below. I'm a nobody when it comes to knowing anything over here about the Jags, but do the reporters get in trouble asking questions that make those guys feel uncomfortable? The answer to that is no. We can ask whatever we want. I think this fan base, I think the Jaguars reporters ask tough questions. You want to see leniency? Slide on over to Tallahassee and look at the questions they ask that organization. There's an example of guys who are scared to ask Mike Norvell questions. I'll stick up for the media in this town. I think they ask everything that needs to be asked. And I also think the Jaguars, with their public relations, do a real good job making these players and coaches available. And I get it. I get it when I had one guy, blow me up in the press box. You got to ask tough questions. You guys, when you lose, it becomes in a way the media's fault. Because what did we do? We told you they were going to be good. Right? No one remembers that I said I thought this team would begin 1-3. Instead, you remember I said they would finish 10-7. But right now, they're actually on pace as to what I did. Outside of losing to Cleveland, I thought they were going to lose coming up here against Buffalo and then lose against Houston to go 1-3. I thought they would knock off Cleveland. Cleveland had the ball for 20 minutes in the first half. We absolutely asked that question. You can disagree. That's fine. But I will defend it as a whole. I think the right questions are asked. I also do not think that here in town you have contrarians, right? I don't think there are. I can't think of one who's secretly like, oh, I hope this team loses. I hope they fire the coach. I hope they fire the general manager. Come on. This team's been losing for way too long. I don't want to listen. I'm going to do a show regardless if they go 0-17 or 9-8, or if they go 11-6 or something like that. It's not going to change what I do, but I'm telling you, losing year after year after year after year after year after year after year is not fun. And then a couple of 9-8 seasons, I mean, that's 500 football. You start 0-2 now. What? Doug Peterson is 500 in his career. That's not anything to get overly excited about. But listen, I've been around for a while, and I hear that. I absolutely hear it. You have to be fair. You have to be respectful, but you can ask questions. Oh, boy. Ballou, trade Christian Kirk for an offensive lineman. Okay. You can't trade Christian Kirk. He's got a cap number of $24,236,000. He's a slot wide receiver. I still think he's the best wide receiver on the team. Christian Kirk's going to get it. Kind of believe it's going to happen as early as this week. Buffalo's a great team. Buffalo has 6 sacks in 2 weeks. Buffalo's down their starting linebackers, right? We'll get into Buffalo beginning tomorrow night. It's a very talented football team. Jacksonville's won 3 out of the last 4. That's right. Sean McDermott, 1-3 in his career against Duval. This will be one of those deals where everyone is going to pick Buffalo. In Buffalo and across the nation, if you're picking Jacksonville here, then all the power to you. Tell you what, you're going to be on the side of a massive upset. I'll tell you right now, it's Tuesday. There's no way I'm picking Jacksonville this week. I'll be at the game. I'm looking forward to going there and watching them. I hope I'm wrong. But I can't see anything right now that would convince me, especially after what they did to Miami. Looked like they made some changes defensively. So, no, you can't trade. You can't trade you can't trade Christian Kirk for an offensive lineman. You just can't. Too much money invested in him. 83-27 Ballou. Would the Jaguars be better offense if they drafted an offensive lineman first round instead of Brian Thomas? Tough call. Yeah, I think so. If you got yourself a stud on the offensive line, yes, I do. And that's what I've wanted forever. Okay, Anton Harrison is not playing good football. Cam Robinson is not playing good football. I'd be drafting offensive lineman after offensive lineman. Now that Thomas Jr. is here, I'm very excited about his possibilities. I think he legitimately has an opportunity to turn into a number 1 wide receiver and a real game changer. But if you would ask me that leading up to the draft in April, no doubt, no question, offensive line. Had to go that way. 45-56. Find me a team that is in a downward spiral. Spots has a GM, head coach, and in perfect harmony. Each one's performance reflects the one and the other. I'm more worried about Doug losing confidence of the team because Press Taylor is being consistently outcoached. That's a fine point. Look what happened last night in Philadelphia. All right, Nick Sirianni, you have to run the football. He passed it. And we saw, Kirk Cousins went, I think it was 4 plays. The guy went 75 yards. And those wide receivers in Atlanta were wide open. Okay? But you want to go to a city with contrarians? You want to go to a city where people are absolutely flipping out? Losing that game last night. So we have what? 8 or 9 teams that are 0-2. Very similar conversation is happening in every city, including Cincinnati, including Baltimore right now. I'm not trying to massage this. It stinks. Jacksonville should be 2-0 right now, not 0-2. And they're 0-2 because there's nothing happening with consistency on offense. And there's really been some questionable coaching the first couple of games. But this texter's right. Whenever you lose, you can make that point. It's not too often that you lose a game where you don't bring up coaching, right? When's the last time someone lost the game and you just said, whoa, that's a much better team? There's always an example. I mean, the Miami loss was coaching. Why did they sit on it the second half? Why didn't they have Trevor try to win it? And I know he dropped back those last 2 plays and was sacked on his last 2 offensive plays, but come on. That was incredibly conservative. And certainly what you're still reliving from 2 days ago, there were just mistakes made all over the place. I mean, the guy threw for 16 yards in the first half. You had a time of possession of 20 minutes and 6 seconds for Cleveland. Yeah. That is on the coaching. And Doug Peterson will tell you that. Doug Peterson, to me, is still a very good coach. It feels like he's wanted to pop off. What I don't want is the same message being sent every week, because that's what Doug Marrone did. And personally, I really like Doug Marrone. You would think I wouldn't because he's from the Bronx and I'm from Boston, but I like Doug personally. And I actually think Doug Marrone is a good offensive line coach. Doug Marrone, by the way, is working with Bill O'Brien right now out at Boston College. But Doug, everything was Doug's fault. All right? Regardless of what happened, Marrone took responsibility. And when you do that time and again, I believe it falls on deaf ears. And there have been examples. That's what I like about the loss, is the way that Trevor handled it. That was a different Trevor with his answers. It was a little bit of a different Doug Peterson with his answers, almost like there are 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, no matter what it may be, things during the game that they have pinpointed that need to be fixed. But it's not happening. And again, I do think it's a fixable problem. Maybe not out in Buffalo on a Monday night, right? But then again, how many people really thought Atlanta was going to win on a Monday night in Philadelphia? This league is a little helter-skelter right now. It is. And it's not like the Jaguars are a 9 or a 10-point underdog. It's 5.5 or 6. It's a 1-possession football game. And those folks in Las Vegas are usually spot on. So, yeah, they can win this game. But they can't make the mistakes, the self-inflicted wounds that they've done in 2 weeks. All right, got a lot of yours in there. Want to do that at least once a night. I'll grab some more if I see any others come across that JJ and I think are really good. There's a couple of other things I do want to bring up with the Jaguars. I also want to get into a little bit of college football. All right? I just haven't had the opportunity. We've been so busy since this game ended. Texas, number 1 in America. Boy, does Kirby Smart. Got to love that at Georgia, right? A bye week, and then you get ready for Alabama. I watched that entire matchup on Saturday night against Kentucky. Just a terrible offensive display. But that's a mark of a really good football team, to be able to hold on and win. And that's what Georgia did. I watched Texas play as well. Quinn Ewers went out. Arch Manning came in. Arch Manning is scary. I mean, he legitimately is. The guy's going to play 1 year of college football and probably be the top pick in the draft, right? That is under the assumption that Quinn Ewers comes out this year. I want to come back, get into a little bit of college ball. Let's do that. If you want to join the conversation, 641-1010, the best way to join us. Again, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Get a Friday evening full of football fun.
I'm National College football writer Matt Hayes.
The big games, the big matchups.
Get you ready for football Saturday.
It's the Bueller Aaron Plumbing College Kickoff, Friday night at 6. Brought to you by Sonny's Barbecue on 1010XL.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey everyone, it's football season and we wanted to go to the drawing board to make this year's predictions. Let's compare our 2 blonde all-stars. Most touchdowns, best pricing in the market. Most passing yards, gives the most for your trade. Most receptions, free oil changes with every purchase. Super Bowl champion, wow customer service. This looks like a winning season for everyone. Come see Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine or Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, where you can score big all season long.
Hey, Hicken here. You tired of having your carpets professionally cleaned only to have them looking dingy again? Zero Res can help. I'll tell you what, they have the technology. Zero Res uses its patented ZR water that cleans beautifully without using any soaps, detergents, or shampoos. That means zero residue left behind. And guess what? Zero Res falling back in time for September. 3 rooms of carpet clean for only $129, and we'll clean a 4th room for free. That's right, the 4th room is on me. Zero Res, man, spell it forward. Zero Res, spell it backwards. It's the right way to clean.
Florida homeowners are going to extreme lengths to stay cool this summer.
We sit in front of the refrigerator with the door open and only eat frozen foods while they're still frozen and put ice cubes down our pants. Whoa, that's cold.
But the most popular and cost-effective way can be summed up by a quack. Just call Duck Duck Air Conditioning. For AC repairs to new installations, you too can beat the Florida heat with Duck Duck Air Conditioning. Jacksonville area's AC experts. Trust the Duck to keep your cooling costs low. DuckDuckAC.com.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700. Office is Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
Before termites attack your home or business and cause costly damage, Terminix it. At Terminix, we know how to stop termites. These destructive pests have been around for millions of years, but before they show up, so do we. And their time is up. Don't live with a termite problem? Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. TERMINIX.com. Terminix it.
David Lane here again for Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. After several surgeries for age-old issues, mainly my back and shoulders, there's no doubt that Southeast Orthopedic Specialists is my sustaining resource for living pain-free. Take it from me, and I'm being really honest here, there's no better orthopedic facility here in Jacksonville.
Relieve pain and get back to life. SOS. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is Corona Premier. Just 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. It's a light beer that... Wait, this is a light beer? But we should really tell people about... Right, that's why I'm here. Sorry. Corona Premier, unexpectedly, light beer.
Welcome to ABS Advanced Business Solutions, your local print management partner, and home to Xerox and HP copiers.
Advanced Business Solutions.
GoABSinc.com.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
Ballou here for the Blue Crab House, located right off of San Jose. It's on Jewington Creek Road. They've been around since 1996. Indoor-outdoor dining. Also, takeout is available at the Blue Crab House. Open 4:30 to 9, Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, noon until 9. Remember, Tuesday, $2 margaritas. Wednesday, $1 oyster night. How about the blue crabs? How about my personal favorite, the Canadian snow crabs? Whatever it is that you fancy, you get it right there. The Blue Crab House.
Hey, it's Matt Hayes. I've been playing Prize Picks lately, and I have no idea why I waited so long. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports app with more than 5 million active members. And beyond that, it's a blast to play. It's easy, it's exciting, and it makes those college and NFL games so much more exciting to watch. All you do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stats and watch your winnings roll in. This week, I've got Vikings quarterback Sam Arnold throwing for less than 229.5 yards and Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson rushing for less than 39.5 yards. It's just that easy. Prize Picks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. When my picks hit, I can get my money as quickly as 15 minutes. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code JAX, J-A-X, and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code JAX on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. It's all there, Prize Picks. Run your game.
Atlantic Self Storage, the official storage partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Need to make room to watch football in your home or need a place to park your boat or RV? Store it all at Atlantic Self Storage. Over 50 locations in Northeast Florida. 24-hour access, all with month-to-month leases. Moving, they can help with supplies. They make storage easy. Go to AtlanticSelfStorage.com or call 877-WE-STORE to find a storage solution near you. Go Jags!
What's changed totally inside and out? The Kuhn Flowers massive storefront, and yes, they've totally remodeled the showroom inside too. This is Frank Frangie, and the next time you drive by, stop and smell the roses at Kuhn Flowers.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Let's go into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, let's mix in a little bit of college football as we get rolling through this Tuesday night. Shake up atop the Associated Press. Texas, the number one team in college football. And again, their quarterback went down, and Quinn Ewers, Arch Manning. He's a lot of fun to watch. You had an opportunity to watch any of that game on Saturday to see what he does under center? I mean, the ability to run.
I didn't watch any of the game, but they were like coming in with highlights, I feel like, every 5 minutes on all these stations. And yeah, he is fast as hell. I saw a study. I saw something that showed, like, with tracking data, he has ran faster this year than Tyreek has, which is insane to think about.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm not. Crazy. And I think I knew that he was quick because of, there was a lot of highlights going around from the first game where he came in. But this was spectacular, man. And it just shows, like, Texas is stacked, man, and they're here to stay for a long time. Like, if they can continue to recruit like this, if Sark can keep the offense rolling, like, they're going to be a problem in the SEC.
I had a couple of people rip me a few weeks ago when I watched him score that touchdown, and I was like, my goodness, can this young man move? And I said he's way faster than his uncles ever were, but I have a feeling those people did not watch him and have not seen him since. Anyway, they host UL Monroe coming up this weekend, so a cupcake there for Texas. 6 of the top 7 teams in America remain in the Southeastern Conference. Georgia has a bye as they get ready for Alabama. Mixing Ohio State at number 3. Then it's Bama 4, Mississippi 5, Tennessee 6, Missouri at 7. The headline game in the Southeastern Conference is Oklahoma going to Tennessee. Oklahoma, JJ, they're down like 6 wide receivers. They're down a pack of offensive linemen. But this is a game that the Tennessee that we know, the last 20 years worth of Tennessee, they lose this type of football game. I think they're good enough to win on Saturday night, but history would say this is a game that they lose.
Yeah, they did beat Bama, but that was at home. And that was, 2 years ago at this point. But I agree with you. They usually do, but those times are over for me. Like, I think Tennessee's going to roll OU. OU has looked terrible. I actually watched some of the second half on Saturday. This is 2 weeks in a row where they've played down to their opponent. I think Venables is a good coach, and he'll eventually get it rolling there, but not yet. And Tennessee, man, they are putting up gaudy numbers. Like 65 points, I believe it was, at halftime. They asked Kent State if they wanted a running clock, which they declined, and obviously they called the dogs off. I think it was like 70-0 at the end, but it could have been 100. And this quarterback looks awesome. But on top of that, their defense is spectacular. They shut down NC State. Obviously, they shut down the team last week. But yeah, I think they're going to dominate in Norman. Maybe it'll be, maybe the atmosphere will keep Oklahoma in it for a quarter or so, but I think Tennessee's going to blow them out.
All right, a couple of other notables here, as we said, both Alabama and Georgia, as we get ready for that huge game coming up a week from Saturday. They are off. Top 10 teams, Ohio State, number 3 in America. They will have Marshall coming up this weekend. Ohio State is a 40.5-point favorite. Also in the SEC, you have Missouri, which will take on Vanderbilt. Missouri ranks 7th right now in the top 25, and they are a 20.5-point favorite. As far as the number, it is a touchdown. Tennessee favored by 7 at home. Favored by 7 on the road in Norman, Oklahoma. I thought that game was in Nashville. It's in Norman. Okay. I was under the impression it was in Tennessee, unless ESPN got it wrong. Remember ESPN got one wrong last year? Remember we talked about that?
But this one's definitely in Norman.
All right, it's in Norman. Mississippi gets Georgia Southern. Mississippi 3-0. How about your Canes now? They got to get up and go on the road.
Yeah.
Miami's taking care of business. 3 non-conference wins over Florida, FAMU, and 62-0 against Ball State. But they go to Tampa to face USF.
Yeah, they haven't left the state yet. And they won't until they play Cal, which is really leaving the state. But
yes,
I'm pretty nervous about this game just because the rushing offense for USF is awesome. And they put up like sick numbers last week against Southern Miss, but they did give up 500 yards of total offense. Like in years past, this is the game where I would think Miami would lose, but there's one difference, Cam Ward. And Cam Ward, to me, just gives so much hope and, things that Miami didn't have in the past where you can rely on a quarterback to just like he's definitely going to go in there and score at least 28 points. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel very confident of that. I never felt like that before. It's been decades since I felt like that about a Miami offense. But the USF crowd is supposed to be electric. I think it's supposed to be close to a sellout, maybe the first one ever for them. They opened up the what do you call it? The upper decks, that the Bucks usually have open because there is a lot more people going to this game. I'll be at the game. So I would really hate to lose in person to USF. It'll be a sad 3-hour drive back home.
Tampa's much better than Orlando. If you go to our neutral site game, I've been to quite a few in Tampa as well.
It's an NFL stadium. Yep. It's super nice. Yeah. The Citrus Bowl is a dumpster fire.
Yeah, that's not a good place. Miami ranked 8th in America. They're favored by 16.5 points. Couple of intriguing games this weekend in college football. We'll begin with Tim Brando, who will join us tomorrow night. He has number 24 Illinois and number 22 Nebraska. Couple of teams right now that are 3-0, but this will be their first game in the Big Ten. They've taken advantage of non-conference games and have gotten off to a really good start.
He's like the Friday night guy now.
Yeah. He's. I think he's going to have 4 or 5 this year. And I want to say this will be his third.
Good games. Unfortunately, last week's it was a good game on paper, but it ended up being a blowout. Yeah. Kansas State and Arizona.
And the week before, you had Washington State. That might have been a Saturday, but Washington State all of a sudden is playing some good football. They knocked off Washington.
Yeah, second play.
Michigan is switching up their quarterback. All right, you have USC and Michigan. That'll be your 3:30 game on CBS. CBS, as we know, no longer the SEC. CBS picking up this Big Ten matchup, which will be kind of intriguing. Here's one that won't interest our audience, and I get it, but it's still a great game. It's 12 Utah, number 12 Utah in America, going to Stilley to take on Oklahoma State. Utah is actually a 2-point favorite in undefeated teams so far, 3-0 against 3-0. Again, this is the home opener in the Big 12, and many thought that Utah would roll right in there and win the Big 12 this year. I mean, there's going to be more emphasis on whether or not Texas, and we can put Oklahoma in it for now. We'll see what happens with them against Tennessee. But whether Texas can win the SEC in year 1 or whether Oregon could win the Big 10 in year 1, I don't think anyone puts Utah in that same category of winning in the 2 most powerful conferences in all of college football.
Cam Rising will be back, by the way.
Yeah, so that guy just can't stay healthy.
I know. The last one was crazy. He was on the sideline, got pushed out of bounds on a sideline play. And you always see, the Gatorade and the tables and everything, and people will run into it. You don't really think anything of it because they have so many pads on. Well, I think he, cut his hand, really bad on one of the tables. Mm-hmm. And, of course, if you're a quarterback, you need your hand. And that's why he had to sit out the last freak injury.
2 big games in the Atlantic Coast Conference this weekend that match Atlantic Coast Conference teams. Number 19, Louisville, playing host to Georgia Tech. All right, Louisville 2-0, Tech 3-1. Louisville favored by 10.5. That is a 3:30 game on ESPN2. And, of course, North Carolina State going to Clemson. That'll be at high noon. Clemson favored by 20 points. But those are probably the best games that are happening this week within the conference. Obviously, Florida State 0-3. They take on an undefeated Cal team. And as we slide back over to the Southeastern Conference, Florida, a toe meets leather at high noon, going to Mississippi State. Florida's a pretty sizable road favorite here. It's up to 6 points. So Mississippi State is 1-2. They have yet to play in the Southeastern Conference. We'll see what ends up happening there.
They just got killed at home by Toledo, by the way.
Here's a game that could be really ugly. That's Arkansas at Auburn. A couple of teams that Cal beat Auburn. And trying to figure out if Cal's any good or if they're Auburn is just really in the midst of having a down season. We'll see. Obviously, Sam Pittman really on the hot seat over at Arkansas. And that's basically it. A lot of cupcakes, as we said, for Texas and for Mississippi and for South Carolina and for Texas A&M and for Kentucky. So very manageable games for the remainder. UCLA does visit LSU. That'll be interesting to see what happens there. UCLA, as we know now, in the Big Ten, taking on LSU. Their come from behind win. What did they score? 17 unanswered last week, and a come from behind victory over South Carolina. All right, when we come back, let's get to the Jaguars once again. Still a lot rolling in on the text line, 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. College football tomorrow night with Tim Brando. Okay, we'll do that on Wednesday night. We'll also have Rafael Esparza, as we'll check the money from Las Vegas. And on Wednesday night, as we do each and every Wednesday at 7 o'clock, more Jaguars. We'll do it with John Osha.
He is our quarterback savant, and he'll take you inside his mind.
So you can learn more about the science of quarterbacking.
Denny Thompson is the Quarterback Whisperer. Friday mornings on The Drill. Brought to you by Tyson Sound and Security and George Moore Chevrolet.
If you suffer from constant burning, tingling, or numbness in your hands or feet, it could be a serious condition called neuropathy. I'm Dr. Nathan Riddle, DC with Riddle Wellness in Ponte Vedra. Neuropathy is treatable, and we have seen great results by using state-of-the-art, non-invasive therapies to target damaged nerves, reduce symptoms, and improve nerve function. Call 904-395-5598 to schedule your free consultation today and learn how you can live pain-free. Call 904-395-5598.
Rick Ballou for Carlson Dental. I've been telling you this for quite some time because it's true. I hate going to the dentist, or at least I used to hate going to the dentist. I had total anxiety, and then I tried sedation. Light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation as well for cavities and root canals. Folks, it's an incredible experience. So don't be nervous. Don't be scared. Go to CarlsonDentalGroup.com. That's CarlsonDentalGroup.com for all of your dental needs.
Hacker here, and I've got something to celebrate. Honestly, I never thought I'd be able to say this. I'm on the countdown to dropping 100 pounds. Yes, sir. 90 pounds already, thanks to Awaken 180 weight loss, and I'm just 3 weeks away from hitting the big 100. The best part? I'm reaching that 100 mark in months, not years. Life-changing and life-saving. No doubt about it. I had pretty much given up on trying, but now I'm going to be here for my son, my wife, my family, and most importantly, for myself. I'm living my life to the fullest, and I didn't know just how easy it was to make happen with Awaken 180. When I hit that 100-pound mark, we're going to celebrate big. I'll keep you updated every week as I get closer, and you can even join in on the celebration. Details to come. In the meantime, pick up the phone and make your own 180. Call 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com.
There's something special about football under the Friday night lights.
Clear eyes, full hearts.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists Friday Night Lights.
Presented by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic and Air Conditioning on 1010XL.
Injured in an accident? Have mounting medical bills? Can't work? Don't worry. Zach's got your back. I'm Zach Von Rowan of Von Rowan Law. I will fight for the compensation that you deserve. Set up your free consultation at zachsgotyourback.com.
Now, it's time to showcase the Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game. Live generously and life will treat you royally.
Logan Cook served up a nice outing for himself in Duval. The 29-year-old punter averaged 52 yards on his 3 punts in the contest, with his longest going 55 yards. When it comes to the punting king in the NFL, you can bet number 9 is wearing that crown. Logan Cook is your Crown Royal Special Teams Player of the Game.
Everything about the game has changed, except for the most important thing. What you have inside. It is what drives the game. It refuses to be ignored. It sweats everything, turns an athlete into a legend. Gatorade, is it in you?
From Gatorade Zero to Gatorade Endurance Formula and Gator Light, there's something for every athlete. Find it at your local Winn-Dixie. It's a win-win. Gatorade, official partner of the NFL.
This is Chelsea with Renewal by Andersen Custom Windows and Doors. Here's what people are saying about working with us.
Installers were professional, courteous, and efficient.
Great customer service. On time, explained the process, and walked me through the installation. Amazing team.
Our experience with Renewal by Andersen was outstanding from the beginning to end.
Renewal by Andersen, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit rbafla.com.
License number CGC 1527613.
Renewal by Andersen, custom windows and doors.
Salvatore's famous pizza now in Jacksonville. Tapestry Park off Southside Boulevard. In honor of our favorite player, number 16, Salvatore's large pizza with lots of mozzarella and one topping, only $16. Coupon at salvatores.com. Dine in, pick up, and delivery. $16 for a large Salvatore's pizza with lots of mozzarella and one topping. Coupon at salvatores.com. Tax and delivery extra.
Jeff Lauderman here. Now that football season is here, make sure your ride can get to that tailgate or away game safely and dependably. You can trust the ASE certified professionals at any of the 27 independently owned Napa Auto Care Centers and the quality Napa parts they use. Napa Auto Care Centers can handle everything: oil changes, air conditioning, brakes, engines, transmissions, and more. Napa Auto Care offers a nationwide 24-month, 24,000-mile peace-of-mind warranty on most repairs. Find a Napa Auto Care Center near you. JacksNapaAutoCareGroup.com.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. WM is the largest sustainability company in North America. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Your services will be completed in a timely, safe, and eco-friendly manner. Go to WM.com, WM.com, and get signed up today. If anyone can talk trash, it's the Mangler. Go Team WM, and as always, Duval!
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
Hello, this is Father Nicholas Lowe, and I want to talk to you about putting your worries in the right bucket. So often we put our worries in our own bucket, but many times they need to be in God's bucket. The Bible says, present your problems always to God. In other words, leave them in God's bucket. Understand that no matter what is out of your control, it's never out of the control of Almighty God.
To hear more inspirational messages by Reverend Dr. Nicholas Lowe, please visit our website at stjohnthedivine.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing. Keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Jacksonville will rest tomorrow. Wednesday will be their day off. I do not know if they'll release an injury report with the game being on Monday. That may be scheduled for Thursday. I honestly don't remember. There haven't been a lot of Monday Night Football examples around here. But nonetheless, the schedule has changed a little bit for them. They'll be back after it on Thursday and Friday, Saturday, travel on Sunday to get ready for Monday Night Football. But Buffalo, I've already begun to read the Buffalo News and some stuff coming out of there. Certainly every year in that city, they believe it's finally going to be their year. And it's, been a successful franchise that has gone to 4 Super Bowls, albeit that was quite some time ago, but they still think they have arguably the second best quarterback in the NFL. I don't know where I would put Josh Allen, maybe 4. I think I would still go Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar. He's in the top 5.
Lamar over Josh Allen?
I love Lamar, man. I do. I love Lamar.
That's an insane take.
Yeah, it's very subjective. No doubt about it. Who do you think has a better chance of winning a Super Bowl, Lamar or
not
or
Lamar?
Allen?
I think Lamar is like 20th on my list of.
Wow,
dude, he's terrible in the play. Any game that matters, he's nothing.
He's 1-4 against Mahomes.
I think he's got 2 playoff wins in his whole career.
Yeah, still a fan. Josh Allen, I'm a fan. I mean, tough not to like him. And they're plus 27 so far this year, which I want to say is number 1. Maybe it's behind L.A. L.A. that had that one huge victory. So they're number 1 as far. They're number 2 as far as scoring differential in the AFC. Obviously, no one right now can compete with the Saints after what they did. Where they put up 44 or 49.
Their plus minus has to be
yeah, they're plus 62.
Wow,
for crying out loud.
That's not gonna hold.
I mean, this is not. This may be a record in the history of the NFL
through 2 weeks,
right?
Yeah.
To be 2 games in and you're plus 62 as far as your point differential for the entire season.
A team that was not really picked to do much either.
Let me see what Jacksonville was for the year last year, 9-8. They were plus 6 for the year with a 9-8 record. Let's see what New Orleans was just for a conversation. New Orleans last year was 9-8. They were plus 75.
Okay, I forgot they had 9 wins last year.
Guess when they put teams away, they legitimately do. Hey, before Hacker gets in, there was 2 that I wanted to no, that wasn't. Okay, here we go. 2004 says, Ballou, whoever's calling plays needs to put a lot more motion into the pre-snap offense. It is ridiculous we don't have more motion to try to get the defense to reveal what coverage is being played. I agree, but look what happened when they were in motion. Okay, you had 2 guys go in motion. Dearness Johnson, illegal set or illegal motion led to the touchdown being taken away from Trevor Lawrence to Christian Kirk. And there's no excuse for that. Dearness Johnson is a veteran. He'd been here for a year and some change. I'm not going to argue with your point, but certainly that is a little bit of a concern. I think there was one other one in here. Here we go. 2381 says, Boo, if I was Shad, I would dictate that Peterson call the plays. That would at least determine part of the responsibility. No. You don't want that owner. You don't want an owner that is that hands-on. You don't want an Al Davis here. You don't want a Jerry Jones here. I have the utmost respect for Shad Khan. I do not think that Shad Khan is a brilliant football man. Okay? I think he's a brilliant businessman. I think the job for Shad Khan is to hire the best people that he believes can lead this team to a Super Bowl. But him getting involved, no. And he already did, whether you call it directly or indirectly, by voicing his opinion on who he thinks should call plays. And we all took from that it was Doug Peterson. And we still don't know the answer to the question. And someone's like, why don't you ask? Why don't you ask? I mean, how many times can you ask? Right? They don't want to tell us. This is a decent group. It's better than decent. It is a good group of members here. Okay? They're not going to answer that question. It's been asked every which way that you can. And, someone asked earlier as well, can you get in trouble for asking things? Well, it depends on what you ask, but I think it's a fair media. I think this media around here does a really good job. And I think you're blessed as fans not to have a guy or a gal around here who's absolutely a contrarian, who's like, they hope that they lose. You don't have that around here. If so, I'm being grossly fooled. But you just can't go. I mean, if he loses in Buffalo on Monday night, I'm not going to walk up to him and say, Doug, are you calling plays, or is Trent, is Press Taylor calling plays? It's been asked way too many times. He's not going to tell us. He's not going to answer the question. It's just not going to take place. And if it does come out, it'll be, I think, this way. As a matter of fact, I'll introduce that as we bring in our good friend, Hacker Nation.
Now, the 2-minute drill, brought to you by Injury Care Centers. Discover BioTarget Regenerative Therapy, a safer drug-free solution for lasting pain relief. Visit GoBioTarget.com.
See, I think the biggest pass that Doug Peterson may get this year is for him to not be asked about it, but to come out at some point and say, I am taking over the play calling for Press Taylor. I'm under the impression right now that Press Taylor's calling plays. I watch his lips move every single offensive play. So Doug Peterson's involved in this. What do you make about that whole play calling, and why don't you guys ask him again?
He's been asked. If I had a quarter for every time he was asked in training camp, I'd have a lot of quarters. Look, I didn't think it was a big deal who's calling plays, because I think Press Taylor and Doug Peterson are connected at the hip. But my thought is this. It's Doug Peterson's responsibility. If he is allowing Press Taylor to call the plays, then he should be criticized for that if things aren't going well.
Yeah.
And if Doug Peterson is calling plays, he should also be criticized if things aren't going well. Doug Peterson is the head coach. The buck stops with him. So to me, whether Press is making the call in the headset or Doug, it doesn't matter. Doug is going to fall on that sword, in my opinion.
Yeah, and and again, I watch his lips. They are moving during the green dot session when the microphone is in the helmet of Trevor Lawrence. But if all of a sudden it came out that Doug has been calling plays, and then it's going to Press, going to Press Taylor, I think people around here would be, when do the Jacksonville Giants begin? Or the Jacksonville Sharks? When do they actually? Because there would be such a shock value. I think the assumption is that it's Press Taylor who's calling these plays.
Yeah, and look, I mean, regardless of what plays you call, if your offensive line's getting blown off the ball and your running back gets hit 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage, I don't care who's calling plays. You could have the greatest play. You could have Steve Spurrier and the fun and gun and Urban and the spread, or you could have Sean McVay or Mike Martz and the greatest show on turf. If you don't have an offensive line, it doesn't matter. People always talk about how great, the greatest show on turf was. Well, they had a Hall of Famer in Orlando Pace, right? Mm-hmm. They had some pretty good guys up front that were blocking for those guys. I mean, the one play that I go back to, and I watched the All-22, that safety that essentially ended the game, made it 18-13, Brian Thomas was open.
Mm-hmm.
If Trevor Lawrence, now it was a bad play call in the sense that he probably shouldn't have held it that long, should have slant, but if Mitch Morse or Ezra Cleveland, if either guy blocks that Cleveland defensive tackle, Jacksonville might gain 35 yards on that play.
You would have had to, the way that Garrett came in from the right edge, and then who's the household name now?
Alex Wright.
Alex Wright.
Yes,
ladies and gentlemen.
Alex Wright.
Okay, the way that Alex Wright came in, he would have needed, in my estimation, at least another second and maybe a quarter in order to get rid of that football.
Yeah, so from that standpoint, yes. Should they have done a quick slant, get it out of his hands? Well, yeah, that's debatable. But even so, I mean, Mitch Morse and Ezra Cleveland, if you block that guy, Brian Thomas was open down the field.
And I saw the grades today. I mean, there's different grades that are out. Pro Football Focus and ESPN has one and what have you. But the guards are ranking higher right now by quite a bit than the tackles, and I have a chance to get to it today during the program. What do you got coming up?
Yeah, we had some Jaguar locker room talk. I was down there earlier today, got the chance to catch up with defensive back Trey Flowers and linebacker Caleb Johnson. So you hear both of those conversations coming up. Also, our buddy D-Rock, Mike DiRocco of ESPN.com. And I will tell you this, Rick, I was surprised talking to some more people in Buffalo today. I talked to one guy, Sal Capaccio. I'm going to have him on tomorrow, WGR Radio in Buffalo. He's on the Bills sideline every game. He thinks there's trepidation among Bills Mafia. They do not like the Jaguars. The whole matchup problem, they have bad memories when it comes to the Jaguars. So it's a Bills fan base that by no means is overconfident going into Monday because they've been burned by Jacksonville too many times.
I've been in Buffalo a few times, and I'm going to go on Monday for the game. I remember them booing viciously Jalen Ramsey when Leonard Fournette got off the bench and ran to the other side. But with Sean McDermott, he's only 1-3 against the Jags, and the Jags won the last two in that matchup as well. Have a good show.
Thanks, Rick.
That's going to do it for us. We'll be with you again tomorrow night from 6 to 8, Thursday night 6 to 8. Then Friday, we'll be with you 4 to 6 on AM 1010, the original, the flagship of our radio station. So that'll be coming up on Friday. Thank you to Zach Goodall. Thank you to JJ LaSelva. Again, Hacker Nation's coming up right now. My name's Rick Ballou. I'll talk with you tomorrow on a Wednesday at 6 o'clock.
Get inside the mind